Hey up YouTube, I'm Eric, thanks for clicking on the video. It's that time again, everyone's favorite, everything you missed. This of course is for Loona's Flip That music video. 3 minutes and 27 seconds, which equates to 4,968 individual frames. So, let's go through all of them and see what we can find. Now if you do end up liking the video, please do leave a like, it really does help support the channel, makes it easier for others to find too. Your support on these videos really means a lot, considering I don't make anything from these types of videos. They get content claimed immediately, which is fun because it is BBC's content I'm using, so your support is greatly appreciated. That being said, if you like what I do here and want to see more videos like this in the future, consider hitting that subscribe button. But let's begin this breakdown of Loona's Flip That music video. Right off the bat, we don't get the colorful eclipse intro that we had in PTT, but now the slash they use is an Eden green color, which is Gowan's color. Now we have the Hogwarts Express. Loona Express. Now inside one of the train cars at the very back, we have a little board that has the Carol 2.0, hi 365, XX, hash, so what, why not, and. Notice how our lone wolf Olivia Hay is the only one not interacting with the others. Now the clock stops at 11:59, a familiar sight as we've seen in the first teasers for Midnight and the Why Not music video. Oh! Now we're in the new and improved Love Cherry Motion Room, now in a form of a train station. Love how the tree from Love Cherry Motion has grown up. In the back, we see the departures above the ticket booths that read the same destinations as the sign on the train. The Carol 2.0, hi 365, XX, hash, so what, why not, and. Now the lanterns above could be referencing the rising moons during the Why Not music video. Also, go on center. This lollipop just seems to appear out of nowhere. We get a look at Olivia Hay's tattoo, which reads, "My journey without a destination." Sus glowing lolly is sus. Also, it doesn't shatter after falling that far. Also, I can't tell if this is an intentional wink from Hay because Cherry is also winking, and she isn't really the center right now. So maybe her hair just got in the way. Love the random slow-mo part for that kick. 3-second rule. And the lolly is apparently some type of magical wand that made the train car fill with the foliage. Notice how Kimlip's earrings are bows, or could they perhaps be to reference Infinity, the Mobius strip, or how her outfit was in the Eclipse music video. I don't know what Cherry and Jinso are looking at, or why they're looking down, but they are. Now we have the outside view looking into the train, and we can see 18.0819, which can be interpreted as 2018, August 19, the debut date for Loona. We also have this year with the 22.0 part, but can't really see the full date just yet. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Vivi from Loona with more screen time than PTT. Now Heejin points toward the viewer, but given what follows, we can assume that she's actually pointing towards a door. Jinso, wink? Now they all run towards the front, but they all seem to be transported to different places. Also, Olivia Hay left the lollipop back in her seat. In this place, we have Heejin, Jinsol, Chu, and Gowan with a white door. In the forest, we have Hase, Vivi, Kimlip, and Olivia Hay. And they're unicorns here? Also, the door is purple. For our last group, we have Hyunjin, Yeojin, Cherry, and Eve, with their door being orange. Hyunjin as the thumbnail. Now we go to the group dance chat with the flower bells above them, along with the mirrors scattered around the background and a flower arc behind them. Now, this is just my interpretation of this part of the choreo, but I think the hand movement is to be like an hourglass, which has been coming up quite frequently, especially with things like their promotional images for the Loonaverse From concert. Now we go through each of the groups picking up their keys to their door, but each one is labeled memory. So perhaps, and this might be a stretch here, but what if they go through the doors and they visit one of their memories? Olivia Hay wink? Very interesting that the first person that suggests what the key should be used for would be Jinso. I count that as a go-on wink. Happy Chu. The door number is 819, referring to August 19th, Loona's debut month and day. It's also green, and Hase's color is green, and she's the first one through the door. Now all the girls seem to reappear in the same car on the train, but I don't think this is where the memory doors led them. Though just a thought, what if the train is a magical space where each car is its own spatial dimension? Yeojin wink? Notice how the very antisocial Olivia Hay from the beginning is now enjoying herself with the others. Now we have Jinso with a coffee and Eve and Chu with a jar and a lid that they are. And now we get the other half of the 22.0 from earlier, 620. Combining them, we have 22.0620, 2022, June 20th, the comeback date for Flip That. Okay, now this shot definitely reminds me of Harry Potter. Notice how while everyone is distracted by whatever cherry is pointing to, Chu is about to eat what looks like a flower, and maybe a rose. A little nod to how one of the factors of breaking free from the taboos of Eden is eating a rosaceae. And then there's Hyunjin in her own little world. Now if you never understood the difference between a cute wink versus a sexy wink, have no fear, Chu and Olivia Hay have you covered. We have the group of Hase, Vivi, Kinlip, and Olivia Hay, and this is the location where I think the memory door led them. If we assume that the color of the door determines whose memory we go into, this door being purple, then this would be a cherry memory. Though no real specifics of when this actually is, but given the general vibe of the center, I would imagine it being during the first time she teleported. But if the color of the door doesn't determine whose memory we go into, I would then think the floral centipede is the key part of the memory. Then we could relate that to being part of Olivia Hay's memory of being lost in the forest. There are also fennec foxes around and a telescope. Now we have what I think is Hyunjin, Yeojin, Cherry, and Eve's memory location. They went through an orange door, so this time I would believe this candy shop to be part of some type of mixed memory of Hyunjin and Yeojin. This referencing the original The Carol music video where Heejin, Hyunjin, and Hase also visited types of sweet shops before, and I'm using my own theory here, going to Eden to save Yeojin. Oh, Hyunjin with your 4D personality. Here's just a better view of the flower bell, flower arc, and some of the mirrors. Now we have our last group with Heejin, Jinso, Chu, and Gowon in their memory location, which could be a couple of things. Immediately, the general vibe of the room reminds me of the Star music video, therefore would be a memory of all of them. Or, I doubt it would be this, but I like mentioning it, the unreleased seesaw clip from Cinema Theory. But wait, I thought you said the color of the door determines whose memory we go into. So why was it white? If it is the shared memory of everyone of Loona, then white would most likely be the common color. Simply because on the RGB color wheel, when the colors mix, it becomes white. Oh, Cherry, our little ENFP. Then we have Eve that's like, I don't know these people. Hey, yo, is that VV Center?
끝없이 연결된 기억 속에 찾았던 빛. Hey babe, hold on. 이제 내 눈앞에.
Now, Cherry tossing the candy is awfully reminiscent of the, golf balls? Oranges? Spherical objects that are in Heejin's Vivid music video.
점점 번져나가 내게 스며들어가. Yeah, 알게 되게.
Now, what's interesting here is that when Hase and Kimlip look into the telescope, they can actually see themselves with everyone. Could this be confirming a type of multiverse within the Loonaverse? Nope, probably. Remember, this is a memory room, so with it still being 11:59, this might be another memory of the Moonlight Festival that we saw happen in the Why Not music video. And if you recall what that festival was for, it was, when the moon shines the brightest, a festival where no girl will feel silenced. This plays perfectly for the overall story of the music video because by the end of it, Olivia Hay, the girl that wasn't interacting with the other members at the start of the music video, becomes sociable, and then the clock strikes 12. Kimlip wink.
Go slow with the bass.
Cherry wink. Junjin wink. Now we have this amazing setting, and Eve running to Hase. Don't know why, but I love this frame. That's a lie. I know exactly why I love this frame. Oh, I see. We have 3 half circles and 1 big one. I would imagine this to symbolize the 3 theoretical worlds revolving around 1 overall universe. Also, Conga Line! And the magic lolly is back. Now as Olivia Hay goes to pick it up, Heejin takes it first. Cute little callback to the first meets last trope that we've seen in other music videos. And we're back on the Loona Express. At least Hay is sociable now. And now as soon as Olivia Hay starts talking with the group, the clock strikes 12. Everything flips and we start our journey through the free. And then it leaves room for interpretation of what is free. It could be free world, because they are holding their first US tour, which America was once called the free world. Though with the inclusion of the clock striking 12, looking back into the Why Not music video description, a part of it reads, "With all Loonas around the world. All the Loonas across the globe will always be together, where all are dignified, equal, and worthy of freedom." But that was my full analysis of Loona's Flip That music video. Not as much as I thought there was going to be. Maybe I'm just underthinking things for the time being, but I'm sure the more times I watch the music video, I'm going to realize more and more of what can connect or have connections I don't realize now. So, if you want to be here for when I do realize those things, hit the subscribe button. And if you like the video, drop a like. It really does help support the channel and allows other theorists to find the video too. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.